Welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane today, and we're back at the Grand Champions Polo Club, Santa Rita Polo Farm on the Aspen field, here for continuing action in the Aspen Valley Cup. This has been a great 8-goal to start out the 2023 season, so if you missed a couple of our games, you can always go back to ctvsports.tv or chuckertv.com. You can also check us out on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. So you can go back and check out all the games. And also we have the ladies also playing now here at the Grand Champions Polo Club. We have our women's league. We're going to talk a lot about that, Steve and I, today. We're going to talk about everything going on here at the Grand Champions Polo Club for 2023. Looks like we have our mounted officials, Gaston Dorniak and Roddy Matthews, meeting in the middle of the field with our two teams. So, Steve Lane, take it away.
Thank you, Dale. Another exciting game coming up here this morning at the Grand Champions Polo Club. And the team in yellow, Dundas 2, they were edged out by Dundas 1 last Saturday of a score of 9-6. So, looking to put a win in the win column today, and playing for Dundas 2 is Romero Retes. at the number 1. Once Oliveira at 3 goals, playing number 2. Geronimo Obregon at 5 goals, playing number 3. And Cable Magnus being the Secretary of Defense for the team in yellow. Playing Rafool Polo, a 6-goal team, and this is their first game in the tournament. Playing at number 1, Ray Rafool. Santos Bellini playing number 2 at 2 goals. And Leo Mendelbaum playing the 3 position at 2 goals. And Juan Bellini, former 8 goals, playing the number 4 position. The ball is bowled in and underway. And Geronimo Obregon right here getting that ball out. And it looks like we've got a buried ball right off the bat. So that didn't take long. Horse just stepping on the ball. Players, the umpires give the players a play when everybody stops. Then they'll blow the whistle, try to dig that ball out. They don't want to leave it down there. So we'll have a bowl in from the center to the boards after that first stoppage in play. No foul on the play, just the horse stepping on the ball. So umpire Dorniak has them lined up. Rafool in white, Dundas 2 in the yellow. Ball's on the ground one more time, and once Oliveira gets that ball out of the bowl in, taking it over to the center of the field. Juan Bellini going back to play some defense. Once they couldn't control that bouncing ball, and now Santos Bellini going to leave it there for Mendelbaum. Leo Mendelbaum right here. Leo trying to stay out in front with Ray Rafool. Geronimo Obregon coming in to turn that ball back towards the center. Not quite a turning foul right there. Umpires say play on. Geronimo, ball takes a bad hop over his mallet, and there comes Santos Bellini. Santos Bellini and Mendelbaum come together over there with a nice little flick pass out to Juan Bellini. Juan Bellini takes that ball into the far corner, but he's got a deep neck shot, unable to connect on that shot, and a back shot out of there by Leo Mendelbaum. And now Once Oliveira. Once with a strong shot downfield, taking that ball parallel with the boards on the far side, and Ray Rafool trying to stay with him, but Santos Bellini coming back and hooking him out of that play, picked up here now by Mendelbaum. Santos Bellini with a back shot, and Ray Rafool turns on that back shot. A great play right there by Raymond Rafool for Rafool Polo, staying with him on the far boards. Over there, that ball up against the boards. Juan Bellini come to dig the ball off the boards and send a shot downfield, but Geronimo Obregon looking over his shoulder. No, that's Cable Magnus playing the number 4 right there. Now Obregon coming through, but he's beaten on the play right there by Santos Bellini. And now Mendelbaum drops in behind. Mendelbaum being ridden off there by Oliveira, but Rafool Polo keeping possession of the ball. Juan Bellini now going to send a shot downfield up in the air. He's got 3 shirts to choose from, and it looks like Mendelbaum right out front there as well. And now Ray Rafool sending that ball across the field with a great play right there by Raymond, and a back shot out of there by Leo Mendelbaum. And Mendelbaum with a little flick shot towards the goal, but that ball out front, and an umpire's whistle is going to sound.
Wow, so a great start here to our 2023 Aspen Valley Cup today in the 8-goal Dundas 2. Rafool Polo, Dundas 2 in the yellow jerseys, Rafool in the white. And a good run and gun in the game to start out there. And this is what Rafool Polo wants. They're receiving a 2-goal handicap and being a 6-goal team. So to come out of the boxes here, Steve Lane, early and play neutral polo is a huge win for Rafool Polo.
Yeah, I'd have to agree that this game so far back and forth up and down the field, 5:01 on the clock, so we've been playing a little over 2.5 minutes, and I don't see a domination by either team.
Yeah, you got it. Well, if you're down by 2, you usually want to come out right away and try to snap at least one. Get control of that first bowl in and try to get the momentum going your way. But in this case, it makes sense as you have Juan Bellini in the pink helmet, cancer survivor Juan, always sporting the colors. And so get behind the cause and support all of our cancer survivors, also Melissa Ganzi. And they back those charities with a lot of integrity and power, and they've done an amazing job. And him wearing the number 4 today is always going to be tough getting around him.
Oh, he's still got that 8-goal mindset, even playing at 3 goals, and He is an expert at playing the back position, and not too many players are great at that. You know, Tommy Biddle comes to mind. He plays a lot of back as well. Alejandro Novillo Estrada sometimes as well. So, it takes a lot of discipline to play the number 4 position.
No, you got it. And a lot of these teams now, they start with the back and work forward. On the move right here, they turn it around. It looks like it's going to be Overgone. He'll override, and they'll leave it for Wanse.
Olivero with a strong shot downfield, looking for Cable up front, but Bellini's going to be the first to arrive on the scene right here. Bellini's going to check down, looking over his shoulder, wanting to know when Cable coming in there, putting a little pressure on him. So Bellini has to take it underneath his horse's neck and now stay out front of Cable Magnus. Bellini slowing things down. He's got Santos breaking towards the center. Bellini has to go back and retrieve that ball. And now Bellini's going to release it. Looking for Santos once again on that shot. But Leo Mendelbaum coming through and whistled for his efforts right there. So must have had a near side play. We'll take a look at things here, Dale.
So the rotation here in the middle, keep an eye on the rotation between Santos Bellini and Leo Mendelbaum playing the number 2 and 3. It's going to be a huge part of the game today as Ray will stay out in front. You know, on the replay there, you can see how Leo is trying to run by, and then they kind of hit him off speed. And right there, and a little late also. So remember the ride-off. You need to be, same relative speed, and you need to be, somewhere in the middle, not in front of the saddle or behind the saddle. Those are the terms that the umpires will use on the field, the verbiage, as we say, as professional umpires. They'll explain the foul as, uneven ride-off, too far in front of the saddle, uneven ride-off behind the saddle, or uneven ride-off based on, basically the change of speed. If you have, got to have the same relative speed. So if you're going faster than a player or you're going slower, and in this case, look like Mendelbaum was on the breakaway, and they caught him uneven and off speed.
Yeah, good job there, Dale. I mean, you took one rule and you gave about 4 different scenarios, and you know what? That's what the umpires have to announce out on the field. So all of those things can happen in just one play.
It's amazing, Steve. We were talking about that yesterday. People don't realize just how many different scenarios the mountain officials need to break down in such a short period of time.
And be able to explain it.
You got that. A big part of it in today's game, with the verbiage, as you said, Steve, to explain it so the players understand what's happening. Bellini on the first penalty, 60-yard shot of the day.
Juan Bellini hits a ball on the ground, and it's touched right there by Wanse Oliveira. And now we're going to go from a penalty 4 to a penalty 6 safety. That ball coming off of Wanse Oliveira's mallet, trickling over the back line with 3:39 on the clock. So halfway through, we've just completed our courtesy horse change. So once again, Juan Bellini will have another shot. This one just a little bit off to the right-hand side of the goal at an angle, probably about a 68-yard shot instead of 60 right now. So here comes Bellini putting that horse on the correct lead, which is the right lead, and here comes Juan. Juan Bellini this time up in the air, but off to the right-hand side, so a nice attempt. I feel he's going to dial in here shortly.
Oh, man, you want those back because I know Juan. I played, a lot of games with that man. You can count him on, especially with Melissa Ganzi and Mark Ganzi, the Cobra, when Mark and Melissa were actually learning to play many moons ago, and they started out playing in the 8-goal and the 12-goal. And we had, some very successful seasons back there. We went like 16-1 in 3 years. 16 tournaments won, 1 tournament lost. That's a lot of tournaments to win. But one of the main reasons was Juan Bellini hitting those penalty 4s, those 60-yard shots. He was so strong on those shots. So Juan will get it. He'll get it dialed in. But in an opportunity here, Steve, where you have the 2 goals on handicap. Any goal you can add at this point, Rafool will put a tremendous amount of pressure on the yellow jerseys.
I'm sure they'd like to get a little bit of a cushion. So far we're on the flat since they did gain that 2-goal handicap before the game. They'd like to come out and be a little bit strong here in the first chukker, get a 3-goal or 4-goal cushion for that matter, because Dundas, too, they've had 1 game under their belt so far already.
Good shot here at Cable Magnus. At Cable. We talked a lot about how Cable hit him how he has grown over the last 3 years to be such a strong polo player, coming off of his snow polo in Aspen, too, the World Snow Polo Championships. But they're going to break this down. They're going to stop the knocking. Ooh, it looked like Rafool Polo was on the roll, and now it's going to be Wansay.
Oliveira right here waiting for a teammate to break down front. He's going to drop that ball off to Geronimo Obregon, and Obregon's going to release it one time. And who's out front? Santos Bellini and Wansay Oliveira being chased here by Mendelbaum, but Ray Rafool taking that ball towards goal, and a shot on goal right there by Wansay, but unable to convert. And now, Wansay Oliveira over there in the corner hooks Santos Bellini out of there. Juan Bellini coming in behind, picks up the loose ball, taking it over to the right-hand side, trying to get away from Oliveira. And now Bellini, he hits a shot over towards the center of the field, and he's got two white shirts over there, and Santos going to break out front right here. Santos Bellini now on the near side, trying to get things going here. Followed up there by Santos. Santos on the gray pony, Leo Mendelbaum on the bay pony, and now Wansay Oliveira turning things back around. Oliveira, he's got Retes out front now. Wansay trying to get around Leo Mendelbaum, and a nice shot right there by Wansay Oliveira. That ball off to the right-hand side. Oliveira coming in. Going to turn it to the outside, and that ball is going to trickle over the back line. So a nice attempt there by the team in white.
Yeah, good D here by Rafool Polo as they're going to push Wansay to the outside. They had it lined out well, as you said, Steve. He had Romero Retes out in front, and he had Geronimo Obregon in the rumble seat. Chose to run that one down, but could not get around Santos Bellini, and they pushed him off the field. We'll go the knock-in. Juan Bellini looking for Leo.
Mendelbaum coming through there, but ridden off by Obregon. Obregon turns the ball back towards the inside. Now trying to stay away from Mendelbaum right there. And now, Wansay Oliveira. Oliveira working. He's got room to work, and look at it. Teammates taking players out, allowing him to go through, but Juan Bellini comes through, and Oliveira with a cut shot towards goal, just unable to put it between the uprights. So the clock ticking down here with 49 seconds on the clock, and we'll have a knock-in. We'll get this knock-in off before the first horn sounds, and Juan Bellini doing just that. Juan Bellini right now looking downfield, surveying the field. He's got to get by Obregon back there. Obregon marking him up. There comes our first horn. Bellini with a nice shot down past the center of the field, but coming back here is Obregon. Geronimo trying to get around Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum can't quite get the hook, just staying out front. Obregon carrying that ball towards the north end. Now, here comes Ray Rafool, unable to do it, but Wansay sending the pass back up to Raymond Rafool, and Wansay, he's going to stay on his own shot. Wansay goes for the cut shot one more time, unable to connect. So that's going to end Chucker number one right here at Santa Rita. And Dale, we've got a special commercial coming up from CTV Sports.
You got it. You know how it is. You know, CTV Sports, we do so many different types of sports. And we want to give you a sneak peek at one of our favorite sports. And that's going to be foot golf. So take a look. Tell us what you think.
Foot golf is a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, "Have you tried it?" I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the U.S. Open are the two top U.S. tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
Great fun, and I think everyone would enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe, foot golf.
Second Chucker Action 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. I'm Dale Schwetz with Steve Lane, and we're live here, Grand Champions Polo Club, Santa Rita Polo Farm, Aspen Field. Dundas 2, if you're just joining us, in the yellow jerseys. Romero Retes playing the 1. Juanse Oliveira playing 2. Geronimo Obregon in the 3 position. Cable Magnus playing number 4. 8-goal team. They're 0-1 at the moment. They lost their first game to Dundas 1. And Rafool Polo playing their first game here in the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup, with Ray Rafool playing the number 1, Santos Bellini playing the number 2, Leo Mendelbaum wearing the number 3, and Juan Bellini Sr., Santos' father, playing the number 4. They received 2 goals on handicap. They held that handicap in the first chukker, and Steve and I were talking about it, so you got to give the first chukker to Rafool Polo. The problem here, Steve, and I think you'll agree with me, is they knocked in about 4 times, so Dundas definitely shooting that goal.
Yeah, once Oliveira, a little bit of bad luck, missing 2 open shots down there close to the goal, but tough, difficult shots. That ball was fairly close to the back line. So, yeah, both teams, and, a lot of work going on in that first chukker, and neither team able to find the center of the uprights.
Yeah, so, we have 7 teams playing here in the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup. We had Dracarez playing, Dundas 1 and Dundas 2, Loudmouth, Rafool Polo, Windswept, and Aurea Polo. And Aurea, actually, with Petra Savitova, Justin Daniels, Justo Marino, and Monty Besquet, and they actually were the champions last year, so they are looking for back-to-back wins, see if they can get a win here in 2023.
Yeah, and that game went into 8 chukkers overtime. So,
what a game, what a game it was. What a game.
Right now, Juan Bellini, he's concentrating on this game, and he's going to send it up to Santos Bellini. Santos over there on the far side being ridden off, but Geronimo Obregon turns that ball around, and Obregon trying to get it out to Romero Retes, and Juanse Oliveira comes firing on through with a shot, trying to outrun Bellini right here. Oliveira looking over his shoulder, being chased down by Mendelbaum, and Oliveira, tough luck on that next shot right there, but Juan Bellini, and here comes Retes. Romero unable to get that near side shot off, and Juan Bellini's going to check down, calm, cool, collected, and breaking downfield is going to be Mendelbaum. Bellini playing cat and mouse right here with Juanse Oliveira, and now Bellini releases that ball, finding Santos Bellini, intercepts it over where he can get to it on the second time, unable to do it the third time, and that ball is going to go out of bounds, so we will have a change of possession play right here for the team in yellow, Dundas 2. So
good rotation there. I love the way Mendelbaum and Santos, they broke across the center. So a very strong set play there by Rafool Polo, and it just bounces out of bounds. And, I love this possession play as it's going to be picked up here by Cable.
Magnus right there's a centering shot, looking for Retes out front. And Retes right there, but Juan Bellini coming through there. Oliveira didn't have a play. Now Santos on that gray pony coming out on the offside, trying to get it down here towards the south end of the field. Bellini still on the ball. Still on it right here. He's got nobody to pass to, but leaves it, drops it off for Father Juan. Juan Bellini looks downfield. He's got a lot of room to work. Nobody marking him very closely at all. Leo Mendelbaum way down front in the center of the field looking for a pass. Bellini scouts, still nobody marking him very closely, so they're giving him a lot of room to work, and that could be a mistake. And now Juan Bellini sends it over to Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum, hook on the near side, wins the offside play. A shot to the left-hand side of the goal, taken out of there by Obregon. What a nice ride-off. That pony gave him that play, but Mendelbaum comes back, and that ball over the back line.
Another solid play here by Rafool Polo. As you can hear, everyone's calling for the passes, but Rhett is giving Juan so much room that it's a legal play for Juan to bring it to center. Why not? And then, like in NFL football, where you have a broken play and the wide receivers need to adjust on the field for the quarterback, Santos Bellini and Leo Mendelbaum did a fabulous job rotating around to get free. They do. They get a shot on goal, and they go coast to coast. No goal, but good possession there by Rafool Polo.
Obregon hits that ball into a player, and the umpire's discussing that play.
They're going to talk about this one a bit, the two Mount officials, based on a dicey little play there. And so they'll go ahead and check. Steve Lane working as our third man today. And Gaston Dorniak, Roddy Matthews in the saddle. Roddy riding the gray pony today. Gaston Dorniak on the bay pony. Two top umpires, that professional umpires. We use international umpires here at the Grand Champions Polo Club, Aspen Valley Polo Club, and also in our World Polo League, as we'll have umpires from all over the world. We bring in two umpires from England, Great Britain, big shout out to everyone across the pond, and Argentina, and a couple Spaniards also. And, of course, they'll mix in a few Americans, and Steve Lane will manage the whole group, and we'll use the technology with CTV Sports, where we'll be in the studios, and we'll be breaking it down how we use the challenge system at a higher level in the World Polo League. We started doing it last year, and Steve, we can talk a little bit more about it at halftime. Remember, join us in halftime. We will have our stats following our third chucker on the first half. Penalty 5B, and it's going to be Cable. Wow.
Magnus sends a strong shot downfield, and Santos Bellini going back to retrieve that ball with an offside back shot of his own, and Juan Bellini's going to turn on it, and so is Obregon. Obregon centering shot, but it's deflected off of Bellini's pony, and Obregon able to come back and pick that ball up. Obregon working it towards the north end. He's outrunning, and he's right there in the center of the goal, and Juanse Oliveira going to come through to clean things up.
Well, there you go. It's going to be their first goal of the day with 3:45 on the clock. And let's give credit where credit is due. Steve Lane, what a shot by Cable Magnus. We talk about Cable, how well he's been playing, and not that he was scoring, well, all his short penalties in their first game, but now they're electing, and I like this call by Geronimo Obregon, the captain of the Dundas 2 team, allowing Cable, and Cable's on a 0 A-rated handicap, so when you can get Cable to release that ball a good 100 yards down the field, now you have three players on attack, and more importantly, it puts Geronimo at a 5-goal handicap on attack instead of the player taking a penalty shot.
And that's exactly what happened. Obregon there and Juanse Oliveira there as well, and Juanse Oliveira finishing things off. And you know what? We've had a chucker and a half of Polo, and that's the first goal that's been scored.
No, it's just a super play. I mean, especially at 8-goal Polo, we were, I was sitting with Melissa Ganzi yesterday. We were both sitting there watching some of the games. We were talking about the games, and what a game we had with the Dracaras team, and they went up against Windswept, and man, you think 8-goal Polo, but it was more like 12 to 16-goal Polo. A lot of speed, a lot of open style, and of course, they were just running and gunning there.
Not much tapping going on in that game. That was a lot of one-time hits, a lot of line drives, a lot of high-lofting shots, and those guys were just up and down the field. And we hope to continue that today, and so far we have done just that. So the Dundas 2, the team in yellow with Romero Retes, Juanse Oliveira, Geronimo Obregon and Cable Magnus. And as Dale mentioned, Cable at 0 goals. Enjoy it while you can, my man. The team in white, Ray Rafool, Santos Bellini, Leo Mendelbaum, and Juan Bellini playing the number 4. Roddy Matthews looking for a clean lineup. Brings the number 1s together, and that ball's on the ground back in play, and there is Retes. Retes getting that ball out of the bowl in and going downfield, followed up by Cable Magnus over in the corner. Retes, Romero bringing it back out, picked up on the near side there by Mendelbaum. Now Mendelbaum with a back shot, turned on by Santos Bellini, followed up by Father Juan. Santos now with the ball parallel to the boards, staying on the field, trying to outrun, and these guys are letting these ponies stretch on out. And there comes Romero Retes right there with Santos Bellini, followed up by Geronimo Obregon. A nice centering shot right there, but Obregon going to be the first to arrive to the ball. And Obregon fakes a back shot, going to turn things back towards the inside, and what a nice play right there by Santos Bellini.
Yeah, well done, Santos. That's just staying composed. It's all composure there as you went for the fake. He went for the fake on the back shot as he kind of hit his mallet into the ground and then went to turn. And Santos just stayed true to the game and had him picked perfectly. And now the issue with that, with 2:33 on the clock, and I would probably call for a back shot here. If I'm coaching them, I'm going to tell Juan, say, once you get the back shot there, just because even if it was a bad call, which this is the easy call by our amount of vision, but even if it was a bad call, you're going to have an open goal penalty too, Steve. So back that ball, get it out of that corner, get it out of that area, and then move on to the next play.
That's why that rule was put in place for a back shot, and that's just a perfect example where a back shot would have made the play instead of turning the ball towards the outside.
Yeah.
And, of course, I got to believe that when he faked the back shot, that allowed the window to close, and that's why Bellini drew the foul.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the fake did not help at all, so you could take that out of there. And but I think you would have got him anyway, Steve, even if he didn't fake. They were so close. But are they going to miss that?
Leo Mendelbaum, a penalty two from the spot, just hits it wide to the left-hand side. So, you know what? We could have had that even game right now, that 2-goal handicap, but instead, missed penalty shot there.
That would have put him up by. That would have put him up by 2. But that would have put him back.
Yeah,
yeah. I
the
mean,
handicap would have stayed the same.
Yeah, keeping that handicap going. You know, you want to try to. They have not jumped on. You know, they've been working it. They've had this is their 3rd missed penalty in 2 chuckers. So you need those penalties.
Yes, absolutely. And right now, Cable Magnus is going to bring the ball in and send it over to his right-hand side, finding Juanse Olivero right there, and Santos Bellini staying with him on that gray pony. Juanse Olivero once again hitting that bouncing ball down the field. Overrides this time, but Leo Mendelbaum coming in there for a near-side back shot, back over to the boards. Geronimo Obregon turns on it. Cable Magnus back there as well. Juan Bellini going to come in there, put a little pressure on. Geronimo staying 2 horse lengths ahead of Juan Bellini, taking that ball to the goal, and a shot across the goal right here, and it looks like we've got an umpire's whistle on the play, and I believe something happened behind the play. We've got a player off, and we are going to go to a commercial break right here on CTV Sports. Stay with us. We'll be back for the end of Chucker number 2.
We're here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm where the PTF Polo ASSN Junior Tournament is being held for the first time ever at this location. And I mean, could you get a more beautiful venue? Probably not. The tournament includes players of all ages, starting with the youngest at just 2 years old and the oldest at 20 years old. So you've got all ages, all skill levels, and a whole lot of fun. Let's go check it out.
It reminds me of my days when I was in that position playing the kids tournament, and for us it meant the world. So I'm very happy to be here supporting my son and other kids as well, because I think they really enjoy this, and for them it's even more important than for us probably playing the 26 or the 22.
All right, we've got our tack adjustment made, and we've got a knock-in to continue with 1:19 left on the clock here in the second period of play. So it looks like Juan Bellini back there ready to do the honors to put the ball back in play. Dundas 2 going up against Rafool Polo, and Rafool Polo, a 6-goal team. 2-goal handicap on the board before the game started, a score of 2-1 right now. Only 1 goal scored, and Juan Bellini dribbles that ball in off the back line, followed up by umpire Roddy Matthews looking right down the line. He's got Leo Mendelbaum over to his right, Santos over to his left, and along with Raymond Rafool. And a shot downfield, Mendelbaum picking that ball up and hitting it downfield, being chased right there by Romero Retes. Mendelbaum going to win the right-off, pushed over the ball, and actually, Retes making a fool out of me and winning that right-off. And now Obregon back there. Obregon's putting it over towards the center. But Juan Bellini going to be the first to get there reading that play. And no, it's going to be Santos taking a man out. Cable Magnus taking Santos out, allowing Juanse Oliveira to come through. Oliveira at 3 goals in that green helmet with a line drive downfield. He's got Retes out front. Can he get a next shot over towards the goal? He's going to override Santos Bellini on that gray pony, going to turn things back around, trying to gain a little bit of yardage right here before the second horn comes. He's got Mendelbaum up front, but ridden off out of there by Obregon. Obregon turning the ball back around towards the center, being chased right there by Mendelbaum. They're marking each other up very well. Mendelbaum very disciplined on taking his man. Cable Magnus coming on through, unable to make contact. That's our second horn, and Dale, what a period we've had.
Yeah, no, this, like you said, this is going back and forth, and the only issue here, we'll be able to check it out on our stats, is Rafool Polo have an opportunity at 3 penalties. They had a 4 and a 6 in the first chucker, and a 2 in the second. So if you do the math, that would give them a very strong lead here. So they're playing good polo. See if they can get it off, finish it off here. But 2-1 after 2. So we get ready for our third checker play. Stay with us. We'll be right back here live for Grand Champions Polo Club, Santa Rita Polo Farm in the Aspen Field.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day, and the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
Thanks for staying with us here on CTV Sports. Chucker number 3 about to get on underway. We had the ball stay on the field when the second horn sounded, so we will start with a bowl in from the center to the boards. Dundas 2 in yellow, Rafool Polo in white. A score of 2-1 so far, so nobody scoring in those first chucker. In the second chucker, Juanse Oliveira scoring from the field, and that's the only goal been scored so far. Rafool Polo starting with a 2-goal handicap, a 6-goal team. 7 teams in this tournament, 3 different brackets, 3 in bracket 1, 2 teams in bracket 2, and 2 teams in bracket 3, which brackets 2 and 3 play a crossover, and these teams will be ranked 1 through 7. The top 4 teams going to the semifinals, which occurs next Thursday on the 26th, right here at Grand Champions Polo Club.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle all the way down to the end. And Dundas 1 sitting, well, in a good position, 1-0. Our Dundas 2 right here, the yellow team, 0-1. And everyone else looking for their first win. So Rafool Polo trying to go ahead and push Dundas 2 into an 0-2. And that'll be a huge game right now if Rafool Polo can pull out the win. And at this point, it's a coin toss. It's been, that type of match. Been back and forth in the middle. We'll see on our stats at halftime, but, I'm looking at here at Dundas 2 taking a few more shots on goal, but missing the goal quite many times there, Steve. They've knocked in a good 5 or 6 times already here in the first 2 chuckers.
Umpire Matthews puts the ball on the ground to the players, and Geronimo Obregon headed towards that south goal right there out front all alone. Can he finish it off? That ball right there, and yes, it's going to trickle through just inside the left-hand post. Oh, that was Romero Reyes. Taking that ball, looked like a 5-goal player right there, with him doing that fancy stick work.
Yeah, Reyes works super hard, man. This guy, he plays offense, he plays defense. He's wearing the number 1, and we see him in the front of the game pulling the team, but he rotates around, and super strong rider, but gets a lot done on the polo field. And as a group, they play very well. Like I said, just need to take a few more choice shots, high percentage shots. They get their equalizer here in the third chucker.
So right now, Juanse Oliveira gets that ball out of the lineup. He's going to leave it for Obregon. Obregon looks down the field, being told to use it by the umpire, sends it over to Cable Magnus. Magnus right here, trying to get around Santos Bellini, which he does. Taking it over to the far boards. Now he's got to bring it back towards center. Picked up there by Cable Magnus, and now Santos Bellini back on the play with the ball. Juanse Oliveira coming through. He's got Juan Bellini on his hip on the left-hand side. A shot towards goal right there, and Bellini is going to watch that ball trickle over the back line.
Well, Bellini is going to have to reach into his playbook, as he's used a number of different plays, and they've actually we were actually talking about how we were enjoying the plays they were using. Bellini trying to work the ball down the field as much as possible, and he's getting a good 100 yards. But look at this one. He says, hey, I'm just going to take it forward. And Bellini in the pink helmet, he's going to work it all the way past center field. Here comes Juan.
Bellini overrides that time, but he's followed up there by Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum unable to keep it going as he's ridden off. And Cable Magnus with a shot across goal over to Geronimo. Good sight on him, as he knew where the highest rated player on the field is. And now Obregon slowing things down. He's got Cable up front. He's got 3 yellow jerseys up front, picking the left-hand side of the field where Cable is, but Juanse Oliveira trying to get that ball going and hooked out of there. And Juan Bellini, the veteran, comes back in, breaks things up with a neck shot over towards the boards. And now Cable Magnus once again. Can he break out front? He's got the ball. He's got 2 horse lengths ahead of Santos Bellini. Bringing the ball back towards center. Taking a shot on goal. And just an acute angle right there. Unable to convert, but a tough shot.
Super run here by Cable. Wearing the number 4. We were talking about his penalty shot shooting earlier. Now busting through and showing another play, a bit of a different dimension for the offensive attack by Dundas 2, but once again wide, and it's going to be Santos on the move.
Bellini, young Bellini out there trying to stay ahead of Obregon. Obregon couldn't connect with that bouncing ball, and now followed up by Rafool Polo. Oh, and a quick whistle on the play right there, and we've got a buried ball. Second one of the game. Horse stepped on the first one.
Bad luck there. Bad luck, Steve-O. Man, you get the breakaway play, which, again, you need to give the credit where credit is due. Great play here by Rafool Polo. They have, 80% of the time, if not 90, they have worked the ball past center field on every one of their knock-ins.
And there was 2 white shirts right there when the whistle blew. So
that's bad luck.
A tough break right there for the team in white, Rafool Polo. But right now, Geronimo Obregon sending Cable Magnus over towards the center of the field. And Obregon releases that ball down. Juanse Oliveira trying to pick it up on the near side. Gets a little piece of it. And now Santos Bellini coming in there, turning things back around. He's got backup right behind him. Bellini trying to stay just ahead of Cable Magnus. Bellini still in possession of the ball. A little help from the pony right there. And Romero Reyes with a near side back shot. Juan Bellini, he doesn't mess around. He's going to hit an offside back shot of his own. And now a back shot out of there by Reyes once again. And now Mendelbaum sends it back over, looking for Juan Bellini. Bellini was calling for it, but a little bit of a bad luck there, deflected off of a pony. And now Obregon checks down, working the ball off the boards. He's got Cable way behind him. He's trying to find Reyes right there, Romero, but he's ridden off by Bellini. Bellini takes a shot on the offside. Bellini running the turn, a big wide circle. No need to hurry. He's got Reyes right there putting pressure on him. A little cat and mouse right here. Bellini decides to drop that horse's head and come our way. Bellini right now going to release the ball downfield. Tops it just a little bit, but Romero Reyes staying right there with him. And now Obregon coming back up against the boards. Followed up by Mendelbaum and Juanse Oliveira. Mendelbaum, that ball off the boards. And now Santos Bellini comes into play as well. Obregon right there with Bellini. Obregon gets the ball off the boards. Juan Bellini going to ride him off. Making it a little bit tough. He's got Juanse Oliveira breaking down the field, and now players calling for the ball, and that ball right parallel down to the boards, and Juanse Oliveira is going to bring in Santos Bellini to the play, win the ride-off, and take the ball on the near side, a little flip shot, another near side play, flipping that ball, a backhand shot towards the goal. Can he get it over there? Now he's got a near side back shot, bouncing ball, unable to continue that play through the goal, and here comes Santos Bellini. Santos Bellini reaches way back, followed up by Mendelbaum, and now Juan Bellini. Juan Bellini, he's got all 7 players out in front of him. He's got time here, no need to hurry. Santos going to check up and stay behind. Juan says, go down, I'll send you the ball, and now Santos Bellini breaks downfield. Bellini hits a shot, but it's going to be Geronimo Obregon picking up the ball. Obregon over towards the far boards. And I like how Leo Mendelbaum has been staying with him a lot today.
Yeah, no, the good rotation, as you say, he does work very hard with the man. And again, they're lining out again. I mean, this 8 goal looks again like 12-16 at different times of the game here. This Juanse Oliveira play where he takes it on the near side 3 times. I thought he might have taken it forward one more time and he went to hit the back shot. Just a little bad luck, but the transition on how the Rafool Polo turned the defense into offense there, Steve. They just kept the wheels rolling, and that's why I'm saying you're taking this 8-goal level again to like a 12-16 goal level at times, and it's going to push us into a Kersey change. And, well, this is a huge reason why we have the Kersey change. They ran for over 4 minutes there. 5 minutes, actually.
Yeah, 1:20 on the clock, and that Polo's just been up and down, so there was no break in the action to have a courtesy horse change.
Well, we talk about those horse races. Remember, all the different horse races, and there's not one horse race that's over 2.5 minutes. Actually, everything under 2.5 minutes, from the Preakness, the Kentucky Derby, to the Belmont, they're all under 2.5 minutes. And when you think about that, when you're running a horse wide open, and, of course, Polo, using all the different disciplines, as we say, because we jump the boards. So you add jumping into the game. We all use dressage in every discipline, be it jumping, cross country, polo, no matter what it is. We have the different disciplines working, and they use the same setup here with cutting horses. So we use a lot of cutting and running and barrel racing. Every part, every discipline is used in polo. And that's why a lot of people call the polo pony the most amazing four-legged athlete in the world. And I don't want to disrespect any of the jumpers or any of our cross-country steeplechase riders or dressage riders, because those disciplines are super strong for the four-legged animal also. But definitely in polo we use all the different disciplines, and it does show you how important that four-legged athlete is in the game of polo. Steve, we had a little chat here with the two mountain officials. What do you got?
We got a penalty 4 coming in favor of the team in white, Rafool Polo. Just a little right-of-way violation right there. So penalty 4 in the making. And it looks like Santos Bellini teeing up the ball. So we'll see if he's going to take it or whether Juan does. Juan has had a penalty 4, which turned out to be a safety, and then the safety was a nice long hit drive, just a little bit wide to the right-hand side. So
he's going to pass the stick here to his youngest son. Big. Oh, he gets a piece of it. It's going to go down the center and taken out here by Dundas too.
And right now, Obregon on the ball. Romero Reite's got a piece of it there as well. So Dundas too stopping that shot. And now Reite's on the ball trying to outrun Bellini, which he's doing, and a great shot down the field by Romero. Romero looks over his shoulder to see how much time he's got, driving and taking the ball towards goal. A nice approach shot. Can he get back to it? And yes, Romero Reite's completing the play, finishing the play, winding down to the first horn.
Wow, this is just an amazing coast-to-coast run. He actually started the play on defense. Remember, started with a 60-yard penalty 4. Santos knocked it down inside the 40. Reite's got a piece of it, and then went on offense. They go with the give-and-go pass, and he gets out in front of Bellini and goes for an amazing run there and picks up his second goal, and that's going to go ahead and put him ahead here 3-2.
So a great game going on right here. It's halftime, but Dale has got some statistics for us, and it'll be interesting to see how many knock-ins each team has had.
Thank you, Steve. As we will go to our stats today, I want to welcome you to the CTV Sports. Let's go to our stats here as we go with a 3-2 game. Remember the 2 goals on handicap that were involved, so no goals scored by Rafool Polo, but shots on goal, Dundas 2 with 9 shots on goal. Steve, I know that'll open your eyes. Only 3 shots taken by Rafool Polo, and we were talking about that, but the knock-ins, and this is what the difference is, 3 knock-ins taken by Dundas 2, but 6 knock-ins taken by Rafool Polo, and those are the goals you need to make. You need to go into 10 tier and talk about that. They need to take choice shots. They're rushing a few of their shots. Throw-ins, which is pretty interesting. It goes right back to 6-6, so very even there. Fouls committed. The Dundas team a bit more loose on the penalties, 5-3, and it comes into play there because actually the 3 penalties that the Rafool Polo had the ability to hit were, well, a penalty 3, a penalty 2, a penalty 3, and a penalty 4. And they don't put the safety in there, which is a procedural. So they actually had 4 opportunities, Rafool Polo, to score goals, goal shot penalties in that first half. So they're going to talk about that at halftime. And the Dundas 2 team did not have an opportunity at a goal shot penalty. So they're going to leave up by 1 goal, and we'll see, man. I always like to say I love to have a mic in the tents right now, but I would think if you're coaching the Dundas 2 team, you're just telling them, let's play the same game. Let's just start taking choice shots. Let's not rush our shots on goal because they've been missing the goal too much. And with Rafool Polo, they just need to figure out how they need to make a few more penalties and then keep the same rhythm going because they've been very strong on their knock-ins. All right, well, stay with us. We're going to go to a little commercial break, and we'll be back for our second half of the 2023 Aspen Valley Cup.
I am Nick Weaver. I am the co-founder and COO of Blue Delta Gene Co. I probably measured over 30,000 butts, 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide. Doesn't matter. It is fun making people happy. When you make a garment that fits, that's one thing. When you make a garment fit and look good, that's another thing. And we are very good at the latter. We have grown our company by taking care of people. We have grown by making.
Welcome back, everybody, for the second half of the fourth game here in the Aspen Valley Cup 8 goal at the beautiful Santa Rita Polo Farm, hosted by the Grand Champions Polo Club. Just waiting for a few more players to come out. And Dale, thanks for the stats. Our guys in the studio doing a great job of keeping those numbers together. And, you know, we said that both teams each won 6 throw-ins. And I know if you're sitting at home, you say, well, there's only been 3 goals scored. How can you have 12 bowl-ins? Well, remember, we had 2 buried balls. We had a tack timeout during play, which started with a bowl-in. So that's 7 bowl-ins right there because we started the game with a bowl-in. And a couple of periods, you know, we started with a bowl-in to start the game off again. So,
yep.
You know,
you got a good point.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. And what I love about the stats, and Ricky doing a fabulous job in there, Gavin, everyone working so hard in the studios. As that's how you keep they're the heart and soul. And a big shout out to all of everyone on the cameras here, of course. We have the high cam here with my beautiful wife, Stephanie Schwetz, here in the center cam. We have Austin. And he's always doing a fine job on the drone. And today I believe we have Lucas and Reese on the end zone cams. And that's for picking up all your different angles. And remember, those angles, they are a huge part of the game of polo. Now, we are not using the challenge system for our 8 goal, but we will have the challenge system in line as we start building into our higher goal polo. And in the challenge system, each team will get a challenge per half. Now, what we do here in our procedures, and Steve Lane, we worked on this last year, about giving our umpires, they also have a challenge where the umpires have the ability to challenge each other. So in the case where you have a third man call where the umpires disagree on a call, well, our professional umpires here at the Grand Champions Polo Club, Aspen Valley Polo Club, and the World Polo League, they will have the ability to use the cameras. And this is why we always say, embrace the technology. It's not going away, as if you have the ability to use 2 end zone cameras on those angles, the center camera on that angle, and our drone. And then also during some of those games, we have low cameras in different spots that move around the field. If you have the ability to use all of those angles, Steve, why not use them? Why go to a naked eye of a third man sitting on the sideline? As they always say, sometimes it's hard to see a play through the bottom of a glass.
Exactly.
Or a bottom of a can or whatever. Well, or if someone's just taking a sip of a soda, whatever. Just being distracted a little bit. And now, they do such a fine job in the studio with the replays. And also, it gives the viewer the ability to see the play being broke down in real time.
It does, and if you're a team and there's a 1-goal difference, you don't want the quick call. You want the correct call.
Sure.
And that's what technology does for us.
Yeah, and even if it takes a little bit longer, Steve, right? You mean, what's a little bit longer? 5, 8, 10 seconds?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Who cares? And you know what? It really calms the players down by having somebody else look at it, too.
Good call. And we found that out. Not just that it calms the players, but it also just does calm the officials down, along with the fans, and let's just say a lot of the wives, because, they get into the games, the moms and the wives. And so it just seems to work well through everybody, and we'd love to know what you think. Keep an eye on that this season. We'll be explaining more about that here at CTV Sports. But just another vision from the brainchild, Melissa Ganzi, who's always studying the game. We have a great group committee that works with Melly, but Melly, she's hands-on. She's got good hands-on. She's got the ideas, man, and they've been working very well. We're really happy to use those ideas, to use that those procedures, and we're looking forward to it this year, 2023. All right, back to the action here. And Steve, Dundas 2, if you're just joining us, in the yellow jerseys, and we have Romero Rites, Juanse Oliveira, Geronimo Obregon, and Cable Magnus. They're 0-1 at the moment in this Aspen Valley Cup. Rafool Polo, their first game of the season with Ray Rafool playing the number 1. Santos Bellini playing 2. Leo Mendenbaum and Juan Bellini Sr. They received 2 goals on handicap, and at the moment it's 3-2 with 6 minutes on the clock.
And Obregon sends a shot down towards that south goal, looking for Leo Mendelbaum there, but Juan Bellini, a centering back shot over, doesn't quite get all of it, and it's picked up by Juanse Oliveira. Oliveira trying to get by Santos Bellini. Oliveira taking the ball towards goal, trying to stay just ahead, and Juanse Oliveira leaves it right on the doorstep, and that's going to trickle on through. So enough juice on that ball to score a goal. Juanse Oliveira's second goal of the day.
Yeah, Juanse, he's very active at the number 2 position. And Geronimo, he captains the team by using players around him. And this is just all 4-legged athlete, horsepower, as he runs by 2 white jerseys there. And after he gets by everybody, he's got to play him for the miss. He takes that one out of the air, gets a little kick from his pony, and that ball is going to trickle across the line to give him a 2-goal lead here with 5 minutes on the clock.
Retes is going to win that bowl in, hitting the ball down the field, and Santos Bellini comes back there for a back shot, but Retes neutralizing everything right there as Leo Mendenbaum couldn't quite get a handle on it. Horse leaping in just a little bit. Oliveira and Juan Bellini come together, and Geronimo coming out the other side, working on the offside and then the near side, unable to keep it going. Santos Bellini with a back shot into a pony right there, and now here comes Obregon with a shot on goal, and that ball, no indication right there from our goal judges, so we'll see. It looks like that ball went over the back line. Roddy Matthews, umpire, going back there, and Juan Bellini. I think it was a little bit difficult to tell which side of the goal that ball went out since it was deflected.
Yeah, it was hit pretty hard too, huh?
Yes,
that ball was moving on the worm burner. Daisy cutter, as my man Yan Edick Frank would say. Big shout out to Yan, who just got done doing the those Snow Polo World Cup in Kitzbühel, and Melissa Gansey actually was out there playing out there, and they preparing to play in Summer It's next. That'll be the next Snow Polo event that happens. But back to the action here, and starting out this Fort Chucker, Steve, it's been all Dundas 2.
And Juan Bellini going back to get that shot that Obregon laid up there, but nobody home on the yellow team. So Juan Bellini trying to get around Cable Magnus, and a whistle right there on the play. So we'll see what the umpires have called here, and it could be anything from riding into the shot to reaching.
Yeah, a group of players come together, and as we use the term, you can throw a blanket over 4 or 5 of them. Let's watch. They come together. And then right there's a good ride-off. Then they're pushing, shoving, and then they run through right there. And I guess I'm going to say taking it on the near side there is you needed to take that one on the offside.
Yeah.
And give a play to the man behind, coming behind. You need to make contact, right, Steve?
Well, I think a reaching call there. Bellini reached down and Cable was there. And looks like they've put the ball down for a penalty 4, but we've got our courtesy horse change going on.
Okay, so it did go against Rafool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes the opposite way. It goes against Rafool, so they're going to call a reaching call. Remember the reaching penalty in the game of polo. You are allowed to reach on the polo field. You are not allowed to reach under an opposing player's horse, under his neck, between his horse's legs, or behind a opposing players. You must be on the same side to reach for a ball. And, and also I guess you're not allowed to reach back also. That would be one of the calls that is a little more difficult, and that would be when a player has the ball on his offside, the right side, and he's running with the ball, or if the ball is behind his stirrup and he reaches way back to pull that forward. If there is a player within 2 horse lengths coming down the right-of-way, remember the right-of-way, that imaginary line that the ball makes, then you cannot reach back. So you had an opportunity to talk to the umpires?
I did, and this is actually going to be a spot hit, penalty 5A in favor of Rafool Polo.
Ooh.
So, Cable Magnus.
So I was right, though, Steve.
Yeah, you were. You were
Man.
right. Yep.
I'm getting better. Well, you never know. It's always tough. That's always like we love the comments. We love people getting involved on the Facebook conversation. Remember, anytime you have a question about a play, please, Steve and I are, we also miss plays also, and we always stand up. That's one of I think the strength in our umpire core and our committee, Steve. We push that with all of our umpires. If we do make a mistake, and you always stand up because, you're only human. And it's not an easy game to officiate. And so we like our umpires to stand up when they do miss, and I think it satisfies the sponsors and the teams and makes the Grand Champions Polo Club and the Aspen Valley Polo Club a very fun place and a dedicated place to play the game of polo.
It makes them accountable, and that's what we like. Honesty, integrity, and accountability. And right now, Juan Bellini is trying to make Santos accountable for a shot downfield, and they come together right there, and it looks like yellow pushed white into white. But you know what? Since I was wrong there in the last call, I'm not gonna gamble.
That wasn't your fault. That was a close one. Actually, I was wrong too. I actually thought it was on the other side. I thought it was the players coming, the two players that were coming up behind, but it was actually Cable and Juan that were battling it out there on the little ride-off play. You remember when two players come together and they're at a standstill, that can always be a tough call for the mound officials, as when two players make contact and where is that ball situated. Positioning is such a big part of that, so if you are trying to be a certified umpire or a professional umpire, you always need to work on positioning. We talk a lot about positioning with our group of umpires. We review the tapes, and we talk about where a umpire was positioned at the moment the whistle was blown, and could have that umpire been in a better place to see it? Well, it is. It always is a big part of the game. Now, that's why we do embrace the technology and have the ability to have the umpire challenge in place, just in case an umpire did get blocked. That does happen. Players come in front, they'll block an umpire out, or they get held up based on maybe not being able to get onto a play. And so to be able to use the cameras that are in better positions to make a 100% call is always in favor of both teams. Here we go, Bellini on the penalty 4.
Juan Bellini puts it in the air, but well off to the right-hand side. So Rafool Polo not having a great amount of luck today from the penalty 4 line the penalty 6 line.
Oh, it's hurting them. It's hurting them today here, Steve. This is going to be the 4th goal shot penalty. And I know this team, they're better than that on the penalty shot line. And once again, if you do the math here, so let's see if they can get her going here. We still have a lot of pole to be played.
Once Oliveira picks up the loose ball, and now Obregon's going to come firing on through. Obregon trying to get around Juan Bellini, which is no easy score to settle. And now sends it right back up to Cable Magnus. Magnus told to leave it by Oliveira. Oliveira's going to take it on the near side, unable to get back to it on the offside. Santos Bellini coming in there working on the offside, and now Oliveira on the near side setting that ball up. Santos Bellini reading the play very well, decides to take it across the field. He's got that horse picking him up and putting him down, and Oliveira coming in there playing the ball on the near side, and now Obregon coming in there too. Santos Bellini picks the ball back up, trying to get around two yellow jerseys right here, but Obregon going to dig the ball off the boards on the near side, trying to turn it back towards center. And Mendelbaum coming in there as well, and Santos Bellini breaks out of the pack, and he's got some movements going on right here, hitting that bouncing ball out of the air, still taking it towards goal. And Romero Reite's coming into the play as well. And a whistle on the play, and a buried ball right here, I do believe. And this will be the 3rd one of the game, so players riding each other off, stepping on the ball. And we'll have our umpire discussion right here, and we're going to dig that ball out. So that just shows you that a lot of riding off going on here and players neutralizing each other when they ride over the top of the ball. Stomping that ball into the ground. Beautiful field right here at Santa Rita. This field playing well. No horses slipping whatsoever. Making turns at speed. Ball staying on the ground, not bouncing a lot. So umpire Dorniak just waiting on the players to line up.
The last couple games we've seen here on the Aspen field have been very fast and just running gun. I remember talking about the game we had where they were with all the Merlot's boys, the windswept team, and Dracarys. And both of those teams, they need to be prepared. Everybody is going to play against these two teams because they play at a very fast pace.
And right now, it looks like Reite's breaking out of that bowl in, being ridden off there by Mendelbaum, and Reite's trying to stay just ahead. Does a nice turn right there, and Mendelbaum gets the hook on him. But Juanse Oliveira coming back, hitting that ball, a dribble, and then out of the air, sending the bouncing ball back down the field. Mendelbaum coming in there one more time. Oliveira keeping the ball on the near side. Reite's going to fall in behind, and a back shot out of there by Mendelbaum breaking things up. Santos Bellini turning around. Father says, go down, I'll give you the back shot, which he does. Santos Bellini on that gray pony hits the ball over towards the center. Romero staying right there with him. Obregon says, stay with him, Romero. I've got the ball. And now Obregon checking down, looking over his shoulder. First horn on its way. Obregon, he heard the first horn. Nobody up front to hit to. He's going to send Cable Magnus down the field. Cable running a little bit of interference for him. And now Obregon working the ball back towards the center of the field. He's out front. Can he finish the play? He's got enough time, and yes, Geronimo Obregon finishing things up with a goal here at the end of checker number 4.
Yeah, second time in a row here, Dundas, and I love that, especially when I'm coaching a team. You always want to see them finish the chucker out, and Rete scored right at the end of the third, and Oliveira scored at the end of the fourth. And now look at this. They're going to go ahead and, Rete scored at the end of the third, and now Obregon's going to score at the end of the fourth. So just great determination by these young players. All right, so that'll get us ready for our fifth chucker. Stay with us. We'll be back at this commercial break. Polo School ready to go. So if you want to learn how to play polo, well, get involved in the Polo School. And you can get in touch with our Director of Operations, Cale Newman, or Juan Bellini. Polo School is located at it used to be the former Pony Express Polo Farm. Now is the Polo School, directly across the street on 50th from the Santa Rita Polo Farm. And what a beautiful place that has been developed into. And it operates in Wellington, January through May, and September through basically November. It's a standalone USPA-sanctioned polo club, the Polo School, and it is thriving. It's dedicated to teaching polo to all ages. So don't worry. A lot of people say, it's someone too young, or a lot of adults say, they think they're too old, but no. It is set up particularly for grassroots youth, and that's the focus. But its mission is to provide individual opportunities in polo at every economic and ability level. So we can they'll teach you how to ride if you don't know how to ride, and if you're a good player, they'll even take you to another level. Polo School had nurtured several juniors, men and women, and we see them playing, and that's been a lot of fun for us, Steve, as we see a lot of the players that actually started in the Polo School now playing in competitive polo.
Yeah, and also on Tuesday nights, polo at dusk. Yeah,
you're talking about the sunset chuckers and cocktails?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, you got to take a look at that. Or remember, even if you don't play the game of polo and you're a social spectator, well, you definitely got to check out sunset chuckers and cocktails every Tuesday. And we'll make sure that we let you know when that gets going, as that is a lot of fun as we bring in a lot of the players from the World Polo League will come over and have some fun with the Polo School players. But then also, we always have our sponsors. They sponsor a special cocktail. And also we bring over hors d'oeuvres and food. So just come and
enjoy yourself right here at Santa Rita with the Aspen Valley Cup with Juan Bellini sending players out front to hit across the goal and trying to find a white shirt right there. And Santos Bellini with a near side back shot headed towards the goal, but falling just a little short and to the right. And Juanse Oliveira going to turn that ball around, and it looks like Leo Mendelbaum on behind him.
Well, I hope Juanse watches this tape, because I'm going to say it again. But that's a better play right there again for that open back shot. And a reason why, and I said it earlier today, it's not if you have time to get out of there. It's that if you have a player that's so congested in there, jump on that right of way. And remember, with the end line so close, you can't really cheat yourself out of there, because you can't take it forward because you go off the field. So you need to make the turn, and it becomes a very easy call for the mound officials with the end line right there, Steve. And you being top umpire and winner of the Umpire of the Year award, High Goal Polo manager, umpire extraordinaire, I call you. Hey, I enjoyed working underneath you. And so here you go. They're going to go ahead and get the open goal penalty 2. And, woo, hallelujah, here we go. Santos Bellini is going to pick up his and the Rafool Polo's first goal of the day. So maybe the floodgates are opening. This is a perfect time for it to happen.
This might be the little spur that they needed to get things going and gain some momentum right here as umpire Dorniak lines them up on the far side and changing directions after every goal, as we always do. So now Rafool Polo in white, headed towards our left from the center camera, that south goal. And right now, Mendelbaum told to leave it by Bellini, and Mendelbaum faked a shot and heads downfield. Bellini being marked there by Juanse Oliveira, but that shot deflected off of a pony. And who turns on it but Geronimo Obregon, receiving that deflection and sending the ball over towards the center, looking for Cable Magnus right here, and Cable on the roll. Cable sends a shot downfield, and Santos Bellini has a man ridden out. Santos unable to connect, and Juanse Oliveira is going to come through and look at Cable. He's going to take the man out, giving Juanse a shot, but that shot blocked by both of those ponies, and that shot staying right there, and Juan Bellini's going to pick it up, turn things back around, and look at the white team break free down the field. Santos Bellini and Juanse Oliveira, but Geronimo Obregon back there flipping that ball a little bit on the near side, which allows Juanse to come through with it. Juanse Oliveira on the roll right here. Juanse Oliveira just staying ahead. Gets by Bellini, which is no easy task, but Santos Bellini and Juan Bellini back there talking to each other. Santos Bellini trying to get around Retes. And now Juanse goes over to the boards. Going to turn the ball back. Juan Bellini right there as well. Juan Bellini coming in. We've got a little bit of a sword fight over there in the far corner. Juanse Oliveira is going to end up with it, bringing it back towards center, trying to stay ahead of Juan Bellini. Santos Bellini there to block the shot. A shot on goal, but just wide to the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, so it's a good thing that Santos Bellini stayed right there.
Yeah, this is another play here, like I was talking about with Dundas, too, when we were doing our halftime stats. An amazing run here by Juanse, but not an easy shot. Very difficult on that next shot. There, he had a bouncing ball as he came across the center, and so it could be very tough to make that shot. Even a high goaler, 10-goaler will tell you, Adolfo, Cambiaso, he's wants to talk to you about that. He always talks about always taking high percentage shots, especially inside the 60-yard line. So that one's going to go just wide, and we'll line up for a knock-in with 3:42 on the clock after our courtesy change. Well, opportunity here, down by 2 goals. Bellini's going to have an opportunity here with the courtesy change to gather his team. They're going to be on fresh legs also, Steve, so that's going to help out. And they have the ability here to try to make a coast-to-coast run on a good set play from the knock-in.
And, of course, the courtesy horse change taking place at the opposite end of the field, so room for a long chat all the way down and room for a long chat on the way back to set up that play, as you mentioned.
We talk about it. We talk about a lot about how the courtesy change, there's so many dynamics involved in it that you can use to help your team, not just changing your horse or picking the horses you want to use during the courtesy horse change. But here's a situation when you're down by a number of goals in these last 2 chukkers that Rafool Polo, they can adjust their four-legged athletes on who they're going to play. And as you just mentioned, the ability, and even on the other side, look at Dundas. They're meeting down there. Geronimo gathering his team as they get their 4th player mounted up, and you can see him having a chat. It looks like Cable's getting his final adjustments, and Geronimo is waiting with Juanse and with Romero, and they're chatting right there. See, look, you can see him talking. He's talking it out with them, and I love that part of the courtesy change. As we said, safety of the four-legged athlete was always number one reason, but we've seen so many different parts where this has helped the game now as it moves into the future of the game of polo.
It surely has. In this courtesy horse change might give you an opportunity to play your best horse a little bit more than you
can bring it back, because you can go ahead and play it to 3 minutes, or usually right there, 3 usually doesn't get more than 4 minutes, and then you can also bring that horse back. And in a big game, that's a big part. You can also you could use the horse 3 times, or you could use it early in the game. And that's what I would have done with Rafool with the 2-goal handicap at the beginning. Maybe play some of the better ones in the first chukker to try to get a lead, and then you can bring that horse back in the 4th and in the 6th again, and those horses are always going to be fresh.
And what this has done, too, is we see in a lot of polo around the country, a player will have a tired horse and then say it's injured or it's lame or whatever.
Yeah, feigning.
Yeah, feigning an injury. So, that courtesy horse change kind of eliminates that.
It's cleaned it up really, man. It has cleaned up the game 100%. It puts everybody, brings out the honesty, integrity, and the best of the world, and it's been just a fabulous part of the game. So it's great to see that. And look at this. On fresh legs, it's going to be Santos.
Bellini right there trying to get around Cable Magnus, and coming through is Retes, but ball left there for Bellini and Juan Bellini, and once again giving him a lot of room.
Yeah,
and
too much room there, huh?
That could be a mistake as Bellini sends it down the field to Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum on the near side gets a little bit of a shot off, and here comes Juanse Oliveira. Oliveira turns the ball towards the outside. And look at Retes. He's taking a player out, giving Oliveira time. Geronimo Obregon comes in behind, and Santos Bellini picks up the loose ball with a little bit of a back shot right there, but Obregon bringing it across the field. Mendelbaum rides him off, wins the ride-off, now goes for the near side back shot, just a little bit short of Santos. And Juanse Oliveira gets a piece of it. Juan Bellini comes in there to hook him out of the play. Santos with a near side back shot, but Obregon first to go back. Get the loose ball now, first on the near side, now on the outside. Turning it towards the outside on the offside, and Obregon breaks free, sends a shot over to Cable Magnus. He's got Romero Retes out front as well. Can he get it down the field? Retes going to fall in behind, And Cable Magnus, now Reyes picks up the ball. Reyes told to leave it by Obregon, and Obregon coming through. He's got room to work. Obregon out of the air. Ball going towards the ground, but he maintains possession. Juan Bellini comes in to introduce himself to Obregon. Obregon going to rake the ball back. Going to be told to use it by the umpires. He's looking for a window to shoot. He's going to send it along the ground, but it's deflected off of Pony. Juan Bellini jumps on that line. And a back shot right there by Juanse Oliveira. And Santos Bellini breaking off the doorstep on this gray pony, trying to outrun Obregon. Bellini coming on. Obregon knew he couldn't get over there without crossing the line and the right of way. So now Santos ridden off there. Good play right there by Obregon. A nice back shot there by Reyes. Romero doing an offensive nice job right there with Obregon coming on through. Obregon being ridden off by Mendelbaum. These two have been swapping leather on the knee pads all day long, and Obregon going to finish off that play right at the end, right there, ridden off by Mendelbaum.
Yeah, and Geronimo, he starts it off with a defensive play. Santos was on the breakaway, and he almost got out of there, and then the open back shot, the give and go from Reyes to Geronimo, and then high percentage plays all day long. And actually, I want to give love to Geronimo. When he brought that ball in, when it hit the pony, that was actually a very high percentage play. He slowed down, just bad luck it bounced off a pony, but it shows you Dundas 2 kind of gathering themselves here at the end of the fifth chukker.
So that's going to end chukker number 5. Stay with us for the 6th and final chukker right here on CTV Sports.
Polo League, a new breed of polo.
6 chukker action, 6-3, Dundas 2 in the lead. But the score doesn't really lay it all out because both teams have had opportunities. And at this time, it's just who's going to put together the best 6 chukker. At the moment, though, bit of a cushion here for the yellow jerseys, as they'll go to the center on a bowl-in as they finish, once again, they finish the chukker off with a goal. And that's what they've done well since the third chukker, scoring in the last 30 seconds of every chukker and leaving with, positive energy. When you leave each chukker with a goal, it's always a breath of fresh air, especially when you're off talking with your teammates, getting on your next four-legged athlete for the chukker to come. And looks like Juan Bellini out there coaching his group as they wait for Ray. Ray getting on his gray pony here. He loves this gray four-legged athlete. We got to interview Ray last year. I think Ray played in Sunset Chuckers and Cocktails every Tuesday, Steve. He really enjoyed that. He was preparing the ponies. He said he was getting them ready to play last year, Ray. And it's a great opportunity as we're playing with, some top pros, and they work with the Polo School players during those games. And usually play it on field 1 at the Grand Champions Polo Club, but we'll see where they decide to play this year. You never know what venue they decide to put the Sunset Chuckers and Cocktails on. But Ray really enjoyed that, and what a super fun guy. It's great to see him back here at the Grand Champions Polo Club.
It is. We love having him, and he's a nice guy to talk to. And, there's not just too many of us around, Dale.
Yeah, I know. You kept looking for him. You find more everywhere you go, Steve. So here we go. This is what you want. Juan Bellini's going to win the first bowl in here and control for Rafool Polo.
Bellini right now sends the line drive down the field looking for Santos Bellini. Santos in that camouflage helmet. Hard to see, but Juan Bellini found him, and Santos found the loose ball, and Mendelbaum coming on through, tops it just a little bit, and Juanse Oliveira reaches back on the turn and moving that ball on along. A little help from the pony right there. Juanse, broken up play by Mendelbaum, and now Santos comes in to back up Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum going to break over towards center. Santos playing a little cat and mouse and getting by Obregon momentarily. And now Santos with a shot towards the goal, but off to the right-hand side. So a scoring opportunity right there for Rafool Polo, Dale, but just unable to convert.
Yeah, positive possession. They win the bowl in, get the offensive attack. Bellini finds his son, Santos, on the move. Great rotation by Mendelbaum. And then it looked like Dundas was going to take it out, but they get it back in and a shot on goal, but just off to the side. And it's going to get scooped up here now and controlled by Santos.
Bellini turns the ball back towards the center of the field, hooked out of there by Juanse, which allows Geronimo Obregon to pick up the ball, but Mendelbaum going back to put pressure on him. Obregon chooses the near side to avoid the hook of Mendelbaum. Mendelbaum coming in there with an offside back shot, breaking things up, sending it over. Juan Bellini turns right on the ball, nobody around him, and now Juan Bellini sends a ball across center field, being chased there by Oliveira. Hooked out of there by Oliveira. Cable Magnus with a deep neck shot. Santos Bellini turns on it as well as does Obregon. Obregon making the hook on Santos Bellini. Getting possession of the ball. Moving the ball forward down the field. He's got 2 yellow jerseys out front. He's got Juanse Oliveira behind. He's slowing things down. He's going to send it back down the field looking for Romero Retes. Retes goes to that ball over in the corner. Retes turning things back around. And the ball just over the back line. Retes unable to keep it on the field, so we'll have a knock-in once again by Rafool Polo.
Putting the pressure on. Dundas, too. That's what they want to do. At least keep the large numbers in their sight. And those are the numbers on the back of the jerseys of Rafool Polo. You not want to give this team a break. And we will get a timeout. So we are going to get a tack time, which will stop the clock with 5:10. Still 3-goal difference, 6-3 here in the six chucker. Bellini. So we're going to check with the Mount officials on this.
Improper blocking was the call.
Yeah,
remember, you can't do that pick
right
play anymore,
Yeah, so, well, go through the improper blocking, Steve. You don't see it a lot.
Well, if a player is bringing the ball in or on a penalty 5, let's say, and there's an opponent there who can make a play, you cannot have the offensive team go in there and make a pick or block that player, the defending player, from making a play.
I like to play. We used to use it a lot back in the day, and I know because I was actually the blocker, and I did that for a lot of high goal players. And basically that play would be just to go out like in basketball where you pick a player to allow a player on your team the ability to get away without a player being able to defend him. And, it does create a lot of – I like the procedure, them taking out of it, especially because of the the 4-legged athletes involved. And you still are allowed to ride a player off and use the pick. You cannot do it on a set play. So I like the procedure.
Yeah, and it forces the player bringing the ball in or on the penalty 5, in which ever case, it forces them to either hit long or run with the ball.
Yeah, no, I like the procedure. It cleans things up and also makes it a little bit safer for all the players, because sometimes when one player is picking another player early, they would push another player into another player, or you kind of get a bit of a cluster. So it's a good safety rule also.
Right now, Juan Bellini's going to try this one more time, and Santos and Mendelbaum breaking downfield. Mendelbaum way downfield. And Juan Bellini just taking his time, picking and choosing when he wants to run and when he wants to slow things down. And Juan Bellini hits the ball underneath his horse's neck a little bit, losing the play there, but Geronimo Obregon faking the back shot. This time a safe turn, and Mendelbaum coming back there. Mendelbaum been very disciplined about sticking with Geronimo Obregon the entire game. And right now, Juanse Oliveira picks up that line in the right of way, trying to get around Santos Bellini. Juanse Oliveira still on the ball right here, going towards goal. A shot on goal and right on through. So a great play right there between Obregon and Oliveira.
Yeah, we saw the give and go from these two in the first match. They played against Dundas 1. And now, here in the sixth chucker, they're going to connect. And that's Juanse and Geronimo. And now Juanse coming in from the right to left. With the great approach shot here. You see how he kind of bellies over, and he puts it, gets that ball in a good spot, makes it easy to make that next shot there. Great riding by young Juanse Oliveira and a good finish.
Great camera work right there, too, from our CTV Sports camera crew, our videographers right on top of things. So Stephanie in the high seat. Taking a break in the action. We have our courtesy horse change with 3:42 on the clock right here. So players changing for one last time, and they'll line up on umpire Dorniak for another bull-in. A score is 7-3 in favor of Dundas 2, the team in yellow.
Yeah, Reese and Lucas getting some great shots down in the end zone, Steve. You're mentioning there. Season highlights this year, 2023 Sterling Cup. And they'll remember scheduling will change on a lot of these tournaments as they have the $50,000 National 12 goal. And Seaver Memorial, John Teoxy Memorial, and two very inspirational memorials there. Those two individuals, such a big part of the game of polo. $100,000 World Cup tournament. That's a unique one, 0 to 40 goals, and they have time. They play those. That's during our, usually in March and April, based on our scheduling and of course weather. You got to make sure you have time to play all of the tournaments every year. And those are that tournament's a winner-take-all single elimination. So when they do play it, boy, you need to come out firing and when ready. All right, with 3:30 on the clock, 4-goal lead for Dundas 2.
Right now, a quick as umpire's whistle on the far side, and look like Juanse Oliveira spinning around on top of the ball. So not much movement there. Player deprived of a play. So Juan Bellini, it's going to be a penalty 5A. From the point of the infraction, Juan Bellini sending his teammates down the field. Canters up to the ball and once again giving him a lot of room to work. Now, an opposing player cannot be closer than 30 yards to the ball when this first shot takes place, but they are about 45 yards out. And now Bellini sends a ball across and through the goal. So Juan Bellini, and who said a penalty 5A is no penalty? Because Juan Bellini just proved us wrong.
Well, that's what he needed, just to move it back a little bit. As they had a little difficulty early on the short one, but Bellini is always good he always gets one from 100 yards out. He always hits the big ball. And remember, this is our first tournament, first game of the season for Rafool Polo. So this team's going to get stronger and stronger. So it's good to see them ending with positive energy here at the end of this. Oh, there's another big ball right there looking for a white jersey. But it's going to be Geronimo.
Geronimo got Mendelbaum on his hip, working the ball on the near side 3 times, trying to get around Mendelbaum, and he flips it over to Juanse. Oliveira right now gets the loose ball. He's got Mendelbaum on him as well. Mendelbaum playing a lot of defense, and right now Romero Retes right out front. Romero with a nice half swing shot down the field. Romero once again on the ball off to the right-hand side. He's got a deep neck shot coming. He's going to slow down, turn things back towards the outside. He's got a little help over there with some other yellow jerseys. Juanse Oliveira going to break across the goal. But Mendelbaum clearing things out of danger right there. And, they come together with a rough ride-off right there. So we've got an umpire's whistle on the play. And we'll see which way this will go. Gaston Dorniak blowing the whistle. Working today with Roddy Matthews, our 2 international umpires. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty 5A in favor of Rafool. Polo. So Juan Bellini quickly putting the ball back in play, bringing it back towards the center. Bellini releases the ball downfield, looking for Santos. Santos Bellini on the roll right here. Santos, he's got Cable Magnus coming with him. Geronimo Obregon behind Mendelbaum. He's going to come up there and mark Geronimo Obregon. Santos slowing things down, as well as does Cable Magnus. Cable flipping the ball towards the outside, loses the play to Santos. Santos bringing it back towards the inside. And now, Retes in the mix as well. Geronimo Obregon allowing a player to clear. Santos Bellini picks his pocket right here, turning the ball back towards the inside. What a great play right there by Santos. Obregon not happy with that, with a ride-off, and Obregon winning the play, taking it back across the goal, dangerously on the goal mouth right here, and Obregon with a line drive right up to Romero Retes. Retes, he's got one jersey to get by, and that's Juan Bellini, which is no easy task. He drops the ball off for Juanse Oliveira, and look at Cable riding the man out to give his teammates time. Juanse Oliveira coming back, turning it back towards the inside. Cable going to drop in behind. He does get by. Mendelbaum. Oliveira right here. He's been all over the place today. He's been scoring goals. He's working the ball down towards the south end, and that ball right on the doorstep, but across the goal before Bellini can back it, and that horn has sounded. It looks like the players are shaking hands, so that goal scored after the horn. That's going to end Chucker number 6 of Game 4 with Dundas 2 edging out Rafool Polo by a score of 8-4. So the field's great shape, great day for Polo. The weather was perfect. Dale, any last words before we sign off today?
Thank you, Steve. Another great day here at the Grand Champions Polo Club, Santa Rita Polo Farm. And make sure you join us on Saturday, where we'll have continuing action. We'll have Dundas 1 against Loudmouth. It's going to be at 11 o'clock. So join us on Saturday, this Aspen Valley Cup. Been a lot of fun. Very tight polo here. This is going to push Dundas 2 to a 1-1 record and Rafool Polo to an 0-1, but there is a lot of polo still to be played here in league play. For Steve Lane, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone here at CTV Sports, where I say thank you for making us leaders of polo broadcasting. And always remember, here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.